Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and I don't feel like playing one of my long form games today, so I'm going to be playing some Brotato and trying to get some Danger 5 runs on some of the characters I haven't done that on. Generally speaking, I just pick one of these characters and just play it over and over until I complete Danger 5 run, starting from nothing. I did complete the Danger 0 on this Loud a long time ago. I think that's like one of my early just unlocks, whatever. But so I'm going to play him now because I don't like the fact that he's sitting here gray. There's lots of others I haven't finished a run on at all. Apparently I finished a run on Loud. I may have done it because I want to unlock the item. Usually with each one of these, when you beat the game with them, even on Danger 0, like the default normal easy difficulty, you unlock an item, and I may have specifically done the Loud run just for that, which I'm not sure. Now, Loud does more damage as a base. Generates a lot more enemies, which means we're going to get a lot more XP and a lot more drops of items. We do have negative harvesting, but the plus 50% enemies will absolutely overcome the negative harvesting amount. We want something that can clear a lot of stuff. I have done a run attempting to do this Shredder. Shredder doesn't necessarily have a ton of punch in it. It's got cool explosions and it does piercing, so it can hit a lot of dudes, but the raw damage isn't very high. I think the better way to deal with bigger hordes of things is to use melee attacks, because melee attacks do cleave through multiple enemies. I guess I could do the plank, which is interesting, because it's got explosions, which can clear many enemies simultaneously. We could, if we pick up a bunch of pro explosion items, we could even transition to something like the missile launcher or something later on, which will be more likely to get because we've got the explosion tag from the plank. On the other hand, if things like the rocket launcher benefit from increased range attack damage, which the plank is not built for. The plank gets bonus damage from melee and elemental and engineering. I wonder if we could go like explosive and maybe even engineering focused and get a bunch of landmines or something. That'd be interesting. The landmines wouldn't benefit from the plus 30% damage on our dude though. We could consider Lightning Shiv, which has a bunch of bounce attacks, so we'll deal with a lot of the bonus enemies as well. We'd want to get both melee damage for our actual melee attack and elemental damage for the bounces. I could just go with something like the Spear. Really high base damage, doesn't attack very quickly, but it does, poke forward and cleave a lot of stuff. I don't think I want to go with the ethereal weapons. The Cacti Club is interesting because it does spawn some projectiles. If we do get a bunch of range damage, it can clear with that. Just go rocks if we're slow. There's a lot of good I really do like the slingshot, but I'm not sure that's the right. Actually, do I just want to go slingshot here? It gets bounces and it gets more as the slingshot levels up. So, I mean, it would hit a lot of the various hordes. I don't know if it necessarily keeps up with the raw amounts. You know what? I do really enjoy the slingshot. It's just fun. So we're going to Danger 5, new enemies, stronger enemies, 2 bosses at once at the end. And let's do this. So all we're doing is using WSD to move around. And yeah, every time our slingshot fires, it will kill 2 dudes right now because the bounce and the base damage is high enough to one-shot everything in the first wave. Any material I don't pick up will get banked for the next wave, so I don't lose out on it, but that's material I don't get spent. Okay, already we can see we actually didn't fire quickly enough to clear all this, which wouldn't have been a problem if we were doing melee. Usually early on in the run, I'm mostly just looking for damage so I can clear faster. We're not doing melee damage. I'm not doing engineering as it turns out. I guess I'll take the HP regen. Okay, second slingshot's very important. In fact, what I'm looking for right now is more slingshots just to get a proper clear on all the enemies so we can maximize our money. I don't even need more damage. I just need more slingshot shots. The lumberjack shirt's a little early. I'm definitely going to pick it up, but not quite yet. Okay, I don't have enough money to purchase another slingshot because it was 17, I think it was, right? So rather, I could re-roll and then look for one and lock it for the next time, but I will take the tree. Trees do drop, I mean, they're guaranteed a consumable for healing, but they can also drop crates with items, and I believe they drop 6 material as well when they get trash, so we can get some extra money if we clear the trees. Trees spawn at something like, I think as an average 1 every 15 seconds, so getting more trees kind of accelerates that rate. It doesn't seem to like have necessarily a constant spawn rate. I think there's a lot of randomness around it. Sometimes you get 2 at the same time almost. Okay, again, annoyingly, we're not getting anything increasing our damage. I think I'm going to reroll 1 time. Okay, some flat range damage. I would have also taken attack speed. We also take percentage damage, but on loud, we do start with 30% percentage damage. So what I'm looking for more is the flat damage to start off with. So we're going to do that. Do I re-roll again? Really don't like to, but I think it might be worth a little bit of go. Okay, I'm going to take the luck here. So you can see we're running negative harvesting, so we're losing some amount of material at the end of every wave. But again, we're hoping to just kill enough stuff to make up for it. And luck does increase the quality of stuff that we find, which is quite good. I'm going to take the Gentle Alien because, HP is good, more damage is good. But the big thing with Gentle Alien is the 5% more enemies, which, yeah, we're already getting a lot of enemies. But, oh my god, we're going to lock that one. But more enemies equals more money and more XP. I really would have liked to have gotten another slingshot or two. Because mostly what I want right now is just more bullets flinging around to kill more stuff. It does look like we're still one-shotting things. Not these snail dudes who charge forward, though. They're a little bit tougher. But yeah, I wanted more volume of bullets to, again, guarantee as much clear as possible, because any enemy that doesn't die is money and experience that we don't get. This is actually, I feel like, a pretty bad start right now. Okay, we could take attack speed, which would give me more bullets more faster, but I think the flat damage, especially since we got a tier 2 version here, is going to be better for us. We need to make sure we keep killing things every shot. I quite like the Cauldron, and it's also unique, which means if we buy it, it gets removed from the pool here, but we need more slingshots. I didn't even necessarily need a level 2 slingshot right now, because, again, I kind of would prefer 2 level 1s. Reroll. One of the things is the first 2 waves, the shop for the first 2 waves is guaranteed 2 weapons per. So that's usually the best place to look for your starting items. The next 2 or next 3 are always guaranteed at least 1 weapon. And then after that, it's just random. I guess we got 2 weapons here. I don't know. Are we still getting 2 weapons? No, clear not, because we only got 1 weapon over here. Flamethrower is an excellent, excellent weapon. Really good against hordes of enemies, too. Do we transition into an elemental build? That's interesting. It fires very quickly. It does very little actual damage itself. Because it's only adding 1% of your elemental, it's basically always going to do 1 flat damage. The big thing is it sets things on fire. As far as I know, the fire is affected by your percentage damage. Actually, that's a good question. Googling. Brotato is burning affected by damage percentage. Except for turrets, percentage damage affects all damage you do, including burn. Okay, that's important to know. I think I might lock this. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's go. All right, where are the baddies? Okay, those guys do ranged attacks. They're also slightly tougher. They might take more than 1 shot to kill. But yeah, flamethrowers just do great because they have massive piercing, so they're basically just going to hit everything in a line and setting it on fire. I believe the first tick of burning happens instantly as well. So even though the actual attack hit will only ever be 1, I think the first tick of burning does apply instantly. Speaking of burning, Scared Sausage. Now, okay. You know what? I'll take it. Since it's free, I'm only getting it 9 over here. It's also limited. Eventually, we could theoretically run it out of the shop pool to clear things. But this actually could make things like turrets worthwhile. Because turrets and like structures don't gain anything from your primary stats, but they do gain stuff from your secondary stats. And that includes the concept of setting things on fire. I don't need melee damage. I don't need crit chance. The range could turn out to be useful, but we're just going to take the flat HP. And there we go. Elemental damage. Perfect for our transition. Oh, a Gentle Alien. And yeah, I'm also going to want the fertilizer for the harvesting. Even though, so some stats, if you go negative, like negative dodge, negative crit chance isn't a problem. So you just tank those. But the negative harvesting, which I'm getting 3 negative harvesting every wave, is hurting my money. I don't think it's going to be as valuable for us to get harvesting on this run, because normally you want to get positive harvesting early because you gain extra interest and your harvesting grows over time. This won't grow, but we might consider this. Okay, I'm going to start with the flamethrower because it's important for me to keep whacking things. Yeah, I can afford both of these. Okay, I won't lock the fertilizer. I don't think it's worth sitting on a lock slot. Actually, I will reroll here. Okay, and our items that we get presented with are affected by the tags we have. So now that we have elemental and heavy, we're more likely to see elemental and heavy stuff, and specifically because I've got a flamethrower, I'm more likely to see a flamethrower in our shop. So I'm still very likely to see a good amount of slingshots, but we're going to do this. So you can see the flamethrower piercing is 99% and minus 100% damage. It's not going to pierce for anything, but again, it doesn't do any damage as a base. I think it's always guaranteed to do at least 1 damage. But you can see the burning. It'll do 3 ticks of 6 points of burning. Now, my slingshot definitely does more per hit right now. This is not the most impressive right now, but it does gain 100% of elemental damage. These are only scale with 80% of our ranged anyway. So in theory, the flamethrower is actually going to scale better than our slingshots. Slingshots get those extra bounces, which is cool, but the flamethrower does pierce through everything, which is also excellent. I think the flamethrower is going to be really good for us. I can't believe we already got 3 gentle aliens. I'm wondering if loud is tagged for items that increase enemy counts. Therefore, they're more likely to see the burning alien, or the gentle alien, and the mouse. I don't know if it's just called mouse. There's a mouse item that gives you more enemies and lifesteal, but I think hurts your harvest, actually. It's a good thing we're getting extra money from just the virtue of the fact that we've got more enemies. And as long as we clear them, you can see the little burning effect that happens on enemies, those little red little bubbles that are going on there. I think the flamethrower might benefit from more range. Yeah, we'll take the bag. Or the material when we pick up a crate. I could offset this. Okay, first of all, flamethrower. Now, attack speed is less important with flamethrower. First of all, it's already pretty quick. And there is, I don't know what the formula is, but as the cooldown on a weapon gets quite short, there's an actual diminishing return that's applied internally. Yeah, I don't know if there's like a, maybe there's like a base animation that is unskippable or something like that, but extra attack speed doesn't necessarily benefit. It's worth noting that, you know, extra attack speed, burning doesn't stack, so it just replaces it. That being said, it still will apply the first tick of burning every time. So attack speed is still going to be fine, but isn't necessarily the priority. Part of me does wonder about starting to stack armor already. Or again, offsetting some of this negative harvesting just to keep our economy a little stronger early on. I think I will do this, but I'm going to start looking at other things. I'm definitely going to keep taking elemental damage every time I see it. That's going to be very important. Okay, so laser turret. We're not necessarily investing in engineering, but turrets can trigger burning from scared sausage, which is why I'm thinking it might be worth going ahead and doing that. Oh yeah, what was the range on this? Yeah, 250, it's a very short range. I think the banner might be worthwhile for us. I'm not going to lock more slingshots. I will... Do I lock the plant? No, I would buy the plant if I had the money. I'm not going to lock it because I want a maximum roll to hopefully find things that will contribute more toward damage here. I think... Okay, it's not this wave. When do we get the charging plus range shooting wave? Is that wave 7? Damage definitely doing okay. We got 2 trees simultaneously there. That's not, even though we've got the more trees item, it's not guaranteed to happen like that. Maybe each tree generating thing is on its own timer. Actually, I don't know the mechanic, but all I know, more trees is more better. Because it's more consumable drops for healing. Okay, the range shooting, oh my god. Failing to dodge that outright. We could have actually just ended the run there, which would have been tragically bad. So the turret only has a 25% chance of setting things on fire, but it's still doing some amount of base damage that might be one-shotting things right now. We could take engineering to boost the turrets, but I don't think that's worthwhile. If this was a unique, I'd take it just to remove it from the pool, but it's not. It's only $7, but I'm going to recycle it. Let me take the attack speed here, even though, again, it doesn't have tremendous... It's still fine. I think even with fast-firing weapons, I think up to 100% attack speed still does a fairly reasonable amount. It's not an absolute thing with attack speed. I don't know what it is, but like slower firing weapons benefit from more attack speed longer before the diminishing returns kick in, however that works out. The cake is pretty good. Losing a little bit of damage doesn't matter. The HP is pretty good. I mean, at a certain point, it might not matter as much, but I think it's worth it here. More loot aliens is good. Okay, more piercing damage. I don't think we're going to care about that because it's not going to offset it from the flamethrowers. I think inherently we're looking for things with explosions and splash damage and stuff like that in this particular run. Piercing is good a lot for dealing with multiple things, and the pumpkin is excellent, But piercing actually has sort of a negative synergy with slingshot. And increasing our piercing damage with flamethrower doesn't matter. I don't know. I might kick myself for not taking the pumpkin now if I take more piercing stuff later. Baby Gecko is interesting. A little bit more range, which honestly we could maybe use on the flamethrower. Okay, I'm going to take the whistle. It's unique, so it'll improve the pool a little bit. We'll get more loot aliens. Sure, they'll move faster. That's fine. I'm going to take the Scar. That is negative range, but so be it. Garden's quite good for some bonus fruit. Elemental damage, lose some harvesting. Okay, I'm going to go for anything that gives me... do I lock the charcoal? Maybe I won't lock the charcoal. For only 1 elemental damage and -2 harvesting, I might not. I'm going to keep my money rather than doing reroll because I'm not going to be able to buy anything that comes up anyway. Do I take the fertilizer? I mean, it's 30 right now. It'll pay for itself after 4 rounds. I don't think that's worth it for us since we don't get interest. If we... So at the end of every round, you gain your money from your harvesting. So you gain material equal to your harvesting, and then your harvesting increases by 5%. So it gets bigger and bigger every round. So the sooner you invest in harvesting, the sooner you start to reap compounding interest, which is amazing, right? It's the most powerful force in the galaxy, or the universe, I think, as the code goes. But we're never going to really reap a lot of compounding harvesting. So we kind of have to look at it as face value, right? Because otherwise, that'd probably be a no-brainer. It's early in the game. It's all it's doing is hurting melee damage, which I'm not doing anyway. So why wouldn't I take it and let it grow even more? I think here it's slightly less good. Yes, it would earn us material over the course of the game, but I could just save the money now and have more material early for some purchases. I really do think that more range might benefit us tremendously with that flamethrower. On the other hand, HP, like the survival is good. I'm going to take the range. We're not running guns, which have increased range from combos, so I think we're going to do this. Lifesteal is actually interesting for us because lifesteal is a percentage chance to gain 1 HP every time you hit. The flamethrower does hit very quickly. I'm kind of banking on getting lots of flamethrowers, but maybe. Okay, I'm going to take the lumberjack shirt. This is actually quite useful, and it's cheap, and it's unique to clear the pool. The laser gun is excellent. I'm actually thinking, like, geez, I can't believe we're wave 7. I only have 5 weapons. It's ridiculous. That's really not the one I'm looking for. I think I gotta kind of roll hard. Oh, I should have taken that other item. Okay, I'll take the slingshot, but it's not, even though it's not what I'm looking for. I'm not going to go charcoal. Not taking butterfly. Another flamethrower. Thank you very much. And another gentle alien. Okay. I'm just going to merge 2 of these slingshots together. Take another flamethrower, which does activate the first tier of elemental and heavy. Take the gentle alien. Let's roll again. I could take the wand on the basis that it's comboing with all our elemental stuff and gives us another elemental tag, which is more elemental damage, but also increases my odds of seeing more elemental stuff. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and merge... let me merge those 2. Do that. Okay. Do I want to lock the sharp bullet? It would actually be useful with the wand, because the wand doesn't have any pierce. It doesn't help us with the flamethrower. And things that don't already pierce start with a 50% reduction in piercing damage. So that becomes 70. You know, if I get that pumpkin, I don't know. Let's not go for now. Kind of hoping we just get mass flamethrowers at this point. We'll see what we end up with. Or something with lots of explosions, which explosions don't really need the pierce anyway. Because I think the explosion happens... Actually, I don't know. On a bounce, the bounce triggers on the last hit. Like, if you got something that pierces and bounces, I think it'll pierce, 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 then bounce. With the explosions, I don't know if, like, each tick on a pierce can explode. I always assumed it was the last one. Oh, hello, you alien. Thank you. But if every single hit could explode... I mean, even if the explosion ends the projectile... Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that interaction in the future. Because I don't actually know, and that's kind of a big deal. Okay, our damage is now feeling pretty decent. I'm still gonna want a little more. Usually around wave 10 is my switch from focusing on some damage to focusing on survivability. I'm gonna take the cauldron. We can't recycle it for much because we don't have the recycling machine. The pickup range is handy. Extra damage when you pick up a consumable. We lose some HP regen, which I don't like. I will prefer the HP regen to the lifesteal because I think it's still going to be more dependable for us. And I'm going to take elemental damage and really stack through there. Okay. I'm going to take this. I'm probably still going to finish one slingshot. If nothing else, the slingshot can still spread fire with the scared sausage. So it's okay. I might take the schmoop though. Even though it hurts our range damage, I think that's probably okay. We're not as reliant on it. Again, the fertilizer question, which normally I would take, but is not going to be the case this time around. Hello, flamethrower. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge these two slingshots together, pick up another flamethrower. Again, the idea is we're increasing the odds of getting more flamethrowers. I think the range will benefit the flamethrowers a lot because they're relatively short range as is, and then we'll save some money over the course of the game on the rerolls. I'll take one now. I'm not going to buy that slingshot. Do I reroll again? Sure. I do like the cute monkey. Actually, I think I'm going to lock that. Yeah, okay. And we're losing some range damage, but in theory, the slingshot's actual range damage might start to matter less and less, especially if we get more of the sausages, which admittedly the sausages are not required of the flamethrower, but they do combo with the turrets, they do combo with the slingshot, which we might keep around. Right now, I've got enough slingshots that it can get a single level 4 slingshots, which is going to have 3 bounces on it? No, it must have 4 bounces, right? Yeah, because it has a number of bounces equal to its level, presumably. So it'll have 4 bounces, so every slingshot shot will hit 5 things. The hit itself, plus 4 extra bounces. And, you know, spread some fire around. Do a little bit of extra flat damage. I mean, we might end up selling it at some point to fill the slot with something even more appealing. Damage is definitely nice. If we're killing things fast enough, then our survivability feels pretty good, although as soon as we take a hit, we're going to suffer for it because we don't have much in the way of armor. Actually, don't even know, do we have any armor at all? Yeah, good amount of money. I like the XP gain, and the knockback's actually still fairly helpful. I don't like the negative luck, and the melee damage doesn't do anything. I'm going to recycle you. If you were unique, I might buy you just to remove you, or keep you to remove you from pool. We don't have any dodge right now, so losing dodge isn't a big deal. Sure. We don't recycle you for much. I don't think we're going for a crit build. I would like some speed to be able to dodge some of the beams and stuff for the elites. But I think I'm going to take one roll here and hope we end up with a higher tier something useful. Yeah, okay. There we go. And we'll take the plus... what was that? Plus 9 speed, yeah. That's much more comfortable. I'm much happier here. I'm going to take the cute monkey. And another flamethrower. Perfect. So I'm going to merge you guys together and do this. So we should be seeing more and more flamethrowers, not to mention maybe the wands. The metal seems great. We don't currently have any crit. We're probably not going for a crit build anyway. Crit isn't going to increase the damage from our burning, so it's really pointless for us. The metal gives us everything else that we want. Perfect. Yeah, we have 1 whole armor, so we take 6% less damage. The way armor works out, so each point of armor will give you less. You'll see this, you take less damage, will improve less as more armor, but don't be mistaken, armor doesn't have diminishing returns. It's basically, no matter how much armor you've got, right? Each point of armor means you're going to take about 6% less damage than you would, right? So let's say you're at the point where you're taking 90% less damage, which means you're only taking 10% of a hit. Well, every point of armor reduces that by another 6% of the 10%. Or another way to think about it is, let's say you're already at the point where you get 90% less damage. You're only taking 10% damage. Let's say you stack enough armor on to reduce that, or improve that by another percentage. So you're reducing it by 91% and only taking 9% damage. Don't think of that as you invested tons of armor to take 1% less damage, because what's actually happening is you're taking 10% less damage, right? If you go from I'm taking 10% damage from every hit to I'm taking 9% damage every hit, that's 10% reduced, right? 1% is an absolute of the raw damage, but 10% of the actual net damage you're taking. So more armor is always more better. Although, arguably at a certain point, you're taking so little damage, what you really want is more HP regen, because the less damage you take from every hit, the more value you get out of healing. The Cyclops Worm is probably worthwhile. Why? I do think that the extra range is nice, especially for the short range flamethrower. I think this damage is quite good. Now, we have a pretty high percentage damage modifier right now, and I'd still prefer flat elemental, but I think that's still worth it currently. The metal detector is very worthwhile. Double value of materials, more luck. Engineering doesn't really matter for us, and minus 5% damage isn't great, but it's early enough we're going to get good value out of this. We actually get a lot of material drops, right? The weird ghost, I wouldn't mind if I had a little bit more regen, but I'm not sure. This, I don't know if that's small fish for us, and I'm not going to go toolbox. I'm not picking that up. I'll pick up the corrupted shard. Maybe it's really cheap, and a little bit of curse certainly isn't bad. We'll take the HP consumables. The alien eyes, I believe, can set things on fire with our scared sausage. So yeah, I want this. Plus, I mean, as we keep getting HP, this will do more, and it is affected by a percentage damage. So it's actually doing a fair amount of damage. Plus, it can set things on fire. I'm going to lock the fuel tank. I'm going to lock the turret because it can set things on fire. I don't think I'll lock the stone skin, because it is very expensive and we don't have that much armor. We're going to want to stack armor, but I don't know if I need that much max HP. And the attack speed penalty definitely does suck. I'm going to stop re-rolling now because we'd only be rolling for 2 new items. So it doesn't seem worthwhile. All right, wave 10. We're setting people on fire quite good. Yeah, we are really short range. It's almost feeling like I'm playing a melee character, especially since my weapons do like slice through everything, right? That's one of the things with melee weapons is they do cleave through things, like they have infinite piercing, I suppose, because they're just hitting everything in the area of their swing. Which, yeah, the flamethrower feels identical. And yeah, even though the flamethrower's base damage only... What's our actual stats on it? Right now we're doing 23 damage per tick. Now, again, we don't stack burning, but every time it hits, it applies that first tick of burning instantly, is how I understand it. So effectively, this is just hitting for 23, plus the 1 base, I suppose. So 24 damage per shot, and it hits very fast. And remember that the burning tick doesn't crit, so we don't scale on crit basically at all. Technically, if you're crit, it would double the 1 base damage. That's just and yeah, it's unlikely that anything we're actively flamethrowing is going to take multiple ticks from the burn, because mostly we're just applying the first tick over and over, although the burn still applies from turrets and stuff. Tentacle is quite cool, but yeah, there's no point in us doing this at all. We're never going to kill anything with a crit. It's never going to happen. And our crit damage is basically nothing. I think I'm going to take the lifesteal, because unless I'm wrong, we are, again, hitting very quickly with that first 1 damage, and that's all it takes to trigger lifesteal here. Doesn't damage this. I'm actually wondering... Oh, we've got negative dodge. What was giving us negative dodge? The little frog, which I probably won't bother picking up too much more going forward. Do I get myself out of the dodge hole? Because right now, it's wave 10. This is generally... Now, again... Killing things fast is a really good defense, but a lot of times at this point, I'm looking to pick up defensive things. I think I will do this, and I probably will look for non-negative dodge. Fuel tank. I'm not going to take the wheelbarrow at this point. I guess I could take this wand. It would combo into a level 4 wand, which is still hitting pretty hard, right? As a base burn, it's a little redundant, and since I'm not getting pierce stuff... Actually, I think I'm going to skip the wand and really look to replace this with another flamethrower. And the weird food is really not bad. I will take the mutation. I think I skipped one earlier, and I'm a little bit bitter about that. Okay, I'm going to say it's early enough for the bowler hat to be worthwhile. I don't like losing the attack speed, but that's a lot of luck in harvesting, and I don't care about the crit. It's very expensive, but I think it's okay. The bag should still pay for itself. Is there any chance we're going to do explosions? Plastic explosives is very good. But I think the answer to that is no. I'll take the dangerous bunny. It should pay for itself. Yes to the fuel tank. Yes to the corrupted shard. I don't think we're doing standing still strats. I think it's getting a little expensive for the reroll. Although I haven't locked anything. Let's do one more. Landmines, I don't think can spread burning from the explosion. Fishhook isn't bad, but I don't think we're getting the first build, and it might have been nice to get it a little earlier to start snowballing some of that stuff. So I'm just gonna go with this. Underneath the tree. It'd be nice to get a recycling machine, especially since we got a few tree items and we've got good luck. Okay, I'm taking some damage. I gotta focus maybe a little bit more here. One of the issues is, and I think I can turn down some of the effects. It might... Okay. I'm having a really hard time seeing incoming bullets. Why is it into waves? me drop these down. Hopefully they're just me. I need the enemy projectiles to still be really visible. Okay, there we go. My flamethrower is very dim. Okay, enemy projectiles is still much more visible. Okay, I'm still probably going to suck at dodging them, but at least now I can see the ones that are being shot sort of point-blank range. I mean, it's certainly not visually as impressive, all my flamethrower stuff here, but oof. That was being... Oh, see, basically just walked into that one. That was being very scary and very different. I mean, weapons scaling with engineering. I don't think that's going to help my burn at all. I've got a couple of turrets, but they're really going to be dealing with their damage with burn is the idea. Although it's unique. You know what? 36 bucks isn't much. This removes it from the pool and technically does give us a tiny benefit. Yes, the boiling water is fine. Yeah, I'm going to go for armor. So the idea here is to reduce how much I'm taking, therefore making my HP go further, and the HP regeneration and lifesteal and consumables I pick up just be worth a lot more. Yeah, I'll take the crit. I got, 10% speed. That's usually what I kind of look for. This is interesting. I think I will take this. The knockback is slightly odd because we don't have huge range, and if we're knocking people out of range... Now, I think it's probably fine. I don't mind Sad Tomato at all. We don't have a ton of regen, so it's going to take a little while to refill, but I think it might be worthwhile. I'm going to take the mouse. The lifesteal, I think, works for us. The 10% more enemies is going to be lovely for us, so we'll do that. We do actually have a decent amount of luck. The Cyberball would do something. Yeah, I'm going to buy the Sad Tomato. Maybe it's crazy, but we're going to do it. I'm not going to go for Dynamite because we're not doing explosions. Arguably, the gambling token might be worthwhile. I don't know. Yes. Yes. Reroll. I think it's worth taking this because that's going to be more turrets spreading the burn. Although what I really need is I need more scared sausage. Now, one thing I don't know, like we have the elemental tag over here, which increases, I think, elemental weapons. I don't know if it also increases elemental items, which scared sausage is tagged for. Do I want to freeze the garden as well? I think I might. I really like having more fruit get popped out for some healing. Sort of an indirect way to think, okay, this is an elite wave. We're going to stay a little bit further away from him until my regen has kicked in. So, you know, we have to go and burn these eggs. Now, these are not, like, big, scary eggs, I don't think. But I think they might spawn little dudes who shoot, which is certainly annoying. Now, I do have the liberty of, like, sort of pulling away from this guy if he's scary and he's still going to burn. Certainly nowhere as quickly as if I was just burninating him in the face. And actually, I'm realizing something. Since... Oh, no, I was going to say, since burn doesn't stack, do I really need multiple flamethrowers? But no, each one is still doing its instant burn. As I understand it, it's still doing its instant burn right away. The elites here do mutate from time to time. I think they can mutate on a timer, but I think mostly it's about HP thresholds. But it is nice to know that if I get a little overwhelmed, then I have to back up. I'm not no longer hitting him, which can sometimes be a problem. Especially on some of their movement waves, can be quite speedy and maybe even evasive. Giant belt. Well, we don't crit, so I'm going to recycle that. Would have loved to recycle it for more if we got the thing. No elemental damage here. So armor, I think the armor is still better than the regen right now. We actually have a decent amount of regen. We just need to take less damage per hit. Is it still worth taking some more luck? Yeah, more luck means more better stuff. And the earlier you get it, the better. I'm going to take another luck injection here. Warrior Helmet's an interesting one. I definitely want the metal detector. The luck, the double pickup. I think yes. I don't, again, I wouldn't mind bringing my speed up a little bit more. But I think that's going to be okay. I still think I like this of spawning more turrets from trees, which then will keep, you know, consistently setting things on fire. Maybe I could have picked the injection of extra damage, but... I probably will look to sell the slingshot. Yeah, I'm going to take the mutation. I guess I could even sell it for the plank just to get the elemental tag. I don't think so. Here's interesting. I think the strange book is worth getting because we have a few turrets and we might get a few more. So this gives us more engineering for every elemental we've got, which we're going to be stacking. I think I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for the penguin. I'm not sure the vigilant ring is going to pay off, because obviously it's only going to be around... so it's going to be wave 14 we get it. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Not 20. So 6 waves it's going to get. So that's going to be 18 bonus damage, which isn't that much for the cost. And really, we've got lots of bonus damage. We mostly need some flat damage. I think I'm not going to take any of those. I'll do one more roll. I think the banner's worthwhile for us. And we do have some engineering damage. All of a sudden, the landmines actually hit for a decent amount. It's pretty cheap. Okay, I'll lock you. I was only hesitating on the lock on the basis that it's taking up a spot. Do I lock the helmet? Again, the armor's good. I don't think I'm going to lock you, because I'm hoping something better will roll there. I mean, the higher my luck, the more likely that I'm going to get high-level items in the shop. So locking those tier 1s, which are the ones with the dark background are like, might be counterproductive by reducing the chance of getting a higher tier item, which I should have a half-decent chance of seeing, given the fact that I didn't invest in luck. And it's entirely possible to do runs with no luck. And I think some people don't really value luck very highly, but there's a lot of people who do like it a decent amount. Again, usually it's like I'm looking to get it early, just like harvesting, right? Luck and harvesting is a little bit greedy because it doesn't immediately help you. And sometimes you get a bunch of luck and harvesting early in your run, and then you just die. But if you can manage to not die while accumulating that stuff, then you're going to be in a great position. Yeah, we now have a decent amount of armor. We got 38% less damage and decent regen, which is great. I like the runs where I can get a lot of armor, a lot of regen, because I'm bad at physically evading. 4 attack speed for every dodge. I mean, we do have some. Is it unique? The huge range shit I don't love. If I had the recycling, it'd be a recycling machine. It'd be no brainer to recycle this. Okay, I'll take it, and then I'll probably stack a little bit more. Oh, you're tempting. Sure. A little bit more dodge. There we go. There's some dodge. We don't need the range damage. No. Okay. Gentle alien, for sure. Yeah, banner, landmines. Sniper gun. I mean, we're not stacking ranged damage or range. We got a little bit of engineering. I mean, it hits decently. It doesn't fire very fast. No piercing, but it does spawn a few. No, I don't think it's worth going for the sniper gun. The spicy sauce is quite good. I don't think we're going to weird ghost. Not at this stage. Again with the vigilant ring. No. I think you're still going to pay for yourself. The rerolls get much more expensive as we go. Yes to boiling water. No to acid. Yes to frozen heart, although the crit doesn't help. Weapon damage additionally scales 10% elemental damage. Which... Oh, burn activates slower. So that's non-ideal. Now, okay, this is interesting. So burn activating slower is bad because it reduces the DPS from burn. Now, that doesn't affect the DPS from the initial tick of the flamethrower. So in a sense, we can just look at the +8 elemental damage here. And it is actually really good for us and is double dipping with the engineering. I don't know. Frozen Heart might be fine or might be terrible for us. I think I'm going to skip it because I'm not sure and I'm a little bit afraid that it might just break our stuff. It might be fine. Fireball is interesting. You know, lots of elemental damage, explosives and stuff like that. And I could replace something like the slingshot just to clean up the pool of stuff that it gives us. This is interesting. So the mirror, I'm not sure if it's like great to pick blind, and it won't let you exceed limits, so it won't let us get 2 cops unique. So the mirror won't let us get 2 community support. Community support does tank our armor, does dramatically increase the attack speed. I don't think we need this here. I do think the range boost is still good. I think I'll buy the glasses. Mammoth is mostly melee damage, which, I mean, it's still good, but it's not what we're looking for. Another bowling hat? Do I just do this? It's a little crazy. But I think, okay, that's greedy, and I've got to stop being greedy now. Because now what I'm worried about is dying. A little bit more greed. Offset the negative harvest. And then give us a ton more luck. Right now, we'd be really happy to get a whole bunch more trees, especially since each tree also gives us a turret. And again, with the, what is it called, the strange book or whatever, now we do actually have a decent engineering stat now. Because every time we raise elemental, we also get engineering out of it. But again, mostly it's about hopefully spreading the burn, although without more strange sausages, that part of things isn't really happening, because they only have a 25% chance to set up the burn. If you get 3 more, holy cow, we would be laughing. And ironically, this might be an area where higher luck is hurting us, because the strange sausage is a tier 1 item. But I think because our character itself isn't tagged with elemental as a bait, which I assume, it is hurting a little. Oh, there's a curse item. We don't need crit though, and I definitely don't want to lose armor, so I'm just going to recycle you. Yeah, we'll take the incendiary turret, and I'm going to take armor. I think the coffee is good for us. Hello, rocket launcher. So I was actually originally thinking we might go with an explosive build. At this point, I don't think that's going to do anything for us. I'll take the gecko for the range and sort of the lazy pickup. A strange alien, or gentle alien, yeah, we're definitely tagged for increased stuff. We did get the mouse, it's not unique, right? Yeah, so we might see more of those as well. I'm going to take the mushroom. Hello. Okay, I'm just going to sell the slingshot. And I'm going to get this. And the tree. And the turret. Yeah, I'm going to take the terrified onion. I do like the speed, but I want to dodge. I'm going to lock the spicy sauce. That's going to be great. Do I lock the coffee? Actually, I'll just buy the coffee. Again, we're, so 0.56. It's going to reduce, yeah, 1/1000th of a second. And that's more than just... That's not the same as the armor math, as far as I know. Yeah, so we definitely don't need more attack speed. It's not going to change our flamethrowers. I also am not convinced that this many flamethrowers is actually the way to go. I don't know. Kind of hard to argue with results. And this guy's not dying that quickly, but he's still dying pretty quick. We don't have any silver bullets either for increased, damage against elites and bosses. So, no, that is definitely killing him pretty quick. And we're not that squishy. So those guys, I don't know if that was called. I think that's called. Or maybe it's a boss wave. I don't know, whatever. But those guys there drop red chests. You can see in the top right corner, red crates. They're guaranteed to be a very high rarity item. So it's really good to kill. A lot of times it's not feasible. You don't have to kill all these things. You need the bosses or elites. Even the wave 20 boss, you don't have to kill them to finish the wave. Surviving is enough. But if you can kill them, I mean, first of all, it makes it easier to survive the wave because their crazy attacks aren't happening. And secondly, you get a great item. In this case, we kind of womp womp. The range is still good for us, but the crit does nothing for us, and I don't want to lose the armor. So I'm just going to sell this. I really wish I had the recycling thing. We're not doing range damage. Attack speed is still good, but I'm going to sell you. We'll take the penguin. Our speed's not bad. It'd be nice to know if we go here, if we look at an item, it'll tell us how much damage a particular item did on the previous wave. Interestingly enough, the wand is doing about as much damage as the flamethrowers. Obviously, there are tier 3 flamethrowers doing more. And even if we look at the strange sausage or scared sausage, you can see it was responsible for 17,000 damage. So it's doing pretty good for us, despite only having, the one, but we are kind of basing things around that. It'd be nice to know how much we healed from HP regen versus lifesteal. I don't know if it says that somewhere. Because it might be nice to know, should I invest in more lifesteal? Do I just invest in more speed? I'm going to take more speed right now, because then I could tank more speed. Here I'm going to go for regen. I don't think I need more raw hit points. I just want the healing efficiency with high armor, is what I'm looking for. Okay. We're going to go buy this, which will merge into another level 3. We're going to get the spicy sauce for sure. Sure, I'll still take the cake. Hello, wolf helmet, which actually will increase our engineering because of our strange book. I think we actually are in a place to deal with bait. On the other hand, I don't know that 8% extra damage is going to do that much more for us, and there's a risk that these special aliens will kill me. And I would hate to throw the runaway right now, because actually I think it's going pretty well, so I'm going to ignore the bait. Plus, it does cost money. Hello, eye surgery. This is what we want. Burning activates faster. which is a net win in our burn DPS. We don't crit, so the eye patch is really not helpful. Robot arm is not going to be helpful for us, although the engineering isn't bad. I don't think we're going to take this. I actually do like the idea of another garden. Jerky is pretty good, and it's unique. Help cleans up the pool. Bandana's not going to do anything for us. Lemonade's always nice. I'm going to lock the campfire, which I'm totally fine with taking the speed hit since I have more speed than I feel I truly need. And then both the other stats are really good. Okay, I'm going to do this. All right, burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. And actually, the bait could be a little dangerous for us because we do have the tomato, which starts us at 50% hit points at the start of the wave. It does give us huge regen. We do fill up to 100% real fast. And heck, there's a lot of consumables sitting around because those gardens they spawn a fruit or consumable every 15 seconds, but they do spawn one like immediately as well. So it's ready immediately to go and scoop up to get the heals. But the bait wave is front loaded. They might not die in a single hit or, a single, I suppose, volley from all our weapons. It's entirely possible they might survive. And they do range attacks in quite a spray that can be a little hard to dodge. It probably would have been fine, but yeah, I'm not sure that it was worth the, what was it? It was like 77 material or something like that, plus the slight risk of dying for the 8% damage, which doesn't feel like we need it right now. More damage is always better, especially if we do want to actually kill the bosses. Boom, boom, boom. I might take this. I think I'm going to take this, despite the -1 armor. Yep. I don't need the salt water. Oh, the attack speed's fine, more speed, but you don't need the melee damage, and the elemental damage penalty is not what we're looking for. I really don't need more speed, even though that is a tier 4 one. I think I'll just take the max HP here. This is quite interesting with the mirror right now. I'm going to take it, but the big question is which of these items do I want to double? I'm probably not the medical turret, even though it's quite cool. I think I double the campfire. Although there's something to be said about even more generally. I mean, it's more damage. Like, this is more flat damage, and I do like the regen more than the max HP. More enemies, again, more XP, more money. I think the campfire, like, what am I going to want to spend the money on? Things like the campfire. So I'm going to do double on the campfire, and then I'll take the gentle alien, and I'm going to take the medical turret. It's wonderful. Extra stomach. We don't have a lot of waves left, but we are spawning a lot of consumables. I think that's going to work out pretty well for us. The improvised tools is great for the attack speed for us, I think, and increase the attack speed of our structures, which we do have some. Alien magic is going to be great at the end, and I'll go ahead and take the corrupted shard, and I'll spin the free reroll. Peacock might be a little late. The XP gain from this isn't going to give us much because it's so late in the game, and enemies are starting to hit for a lot, so one wave of 50% more enemy damage could be very risky. Do I lock the medical turret? Sure. And, oh, I'll buy the gentle alien. Okay. Wow. Yeah, medical turrets, they just shoot every so often and heal you. They do increase the amount of heal by engineering, but it's only by 5%, so it doesn't come up very quickly. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to be a little quiet here. I am bad at evading those line patterns. Okay, so they've mutated, so they've changed their attack pattern now. But yeah, our damage on this guy is great. I will focus on killing him rather than avoiding him. I mean, I still don't want to get hit, but like sometimes you're just like, okay, I'm just going to be on the opposite side of the screen from wherever these guys are. Some of them can attack you wherever they are. But yeah, here I definitely want to focus on getting the kill down. And yeah, there's the medical turret if I need to run somewhere. I mean, at this point, like, we've got consumables all over because of the extra trees, because of our high luck. We get a lot of consumables from just random baddies. We've got the garden. So basically, wherever I go on the screen right now, I'm kind of constantly healing from the stuff, and I got good regen. So as long as I just mostly focus on evading and not being too far away from enemies. Toolbox engineering does sort of help us, but the attack speed doesn't, so I'm going to say no. Medkit is amazing. At this point, I'm fine with losing some luck at this point in the game. That's a ton of regen, and more regen as the wave goes on. This is a god tier item, so I'm definitely going to take that. And I'm not going to take the long... I don't think I need this more regeneration now. Regeneration is pretty quick. Let's just make sure we keep killing things right now. But I will take this and that and reroll. This does scale with elemental damage. I can lock the ashes and just pick it up on wave 20. I don't think the plasma sludge is... I mean, we do spend a lot of time quite close to someone. Do I want to replace the wand? I don't know. The wand's still keeping pace with the damage of the flamethrowers and stuff. It's actually being pretty impressive. And that wouldn't be bad, but I don't think I'm going to lock for it. We had the free reroll, so I was doing it. I don't think I'll reroll more. Yeah, I think the idea is I'm going to keep the ashes just banked, and I'll pick it up for the final wave, where its penalty won't hurt us at all. Oh yeah, and I want to make sure to pick up, what is it, at least 8 of these consumables while at full health to increase my max HP. Now, there is sort of an anti-synergy with the, what's it called, like strip of meat or bacon or whatever? Okay, that's got to be at least 8. Which does increase the heal that you get from consumables at +3, but makes it heal over time. And normally, that's actually fine. And in certain times, kind of desirable, especially if you're in a situation where you're kind of constantly taking damage. You don't want to take the instant boost of health that like overkills in the heal. You know, having it heal over time, over 3 seconds is fine. But it does make it slightly harder to guarantee that you pick up the consumables at full health if they're stacked together. Because normally be like the first one you pick up instantly heals you and you're full, and the next ones you're all at full health. And therefore you get your benefit of your items that give you something when you pick up a consumable at full health. But with the bacon, what is this called? Jerky. The jerky. It might mean that you don't. On the other hand, normally running over a stack of health items might be non-beneficial because the first one fully heals you and the others go to waste, unless you have those items like the extra stomach, for example. But with the jerky, because it spreads out the heal, means you can walk over a huge stack of the consumables and just have a massive amount of regen for 4 seconds, just like face tank a few things. I'm not sure the scar is worth it at this point. I'm just going to take the money. If it didn't have the -4 range or whatever, I probably would still take it. Definitely take the armor. Keeping the ashes banked. So this is wave 19. Tardigrade is kind of cool. It's really good if you're going low armor, higher dodge run or various things. It might still be worthwhile for us. I mean, if I could get it for free, fine, but I don't think I'm paying 158 for a thing that really we're not taking very much damage from the first hit anyway. We're taking half damage and regenning it. So I'm going to ignore it. I might pick it up for like the last wave if it comes up in the shop again. The cute monkey's worth it. Even more healing. Piggy bank is not worth it for us at this point. And it is kind of awkward. I'm not going to go glass cannon. I will take the glasses though. I think the range is still handy dandy. Hello. So we're finally getting a tier 4 flamethrower. I think the metal plate's worth it. Losing 3% damage is really not going to mean much for us right now. And more armor is more better. Yes, I'm going to take the blood leech. I think the bat's also fine with us. You know what? I'm going to lock it for the next wave, which is a little weird to lock sort of a low tier item here. But this is going to help us survive against the boss fight, and we were not going to need the harvesting anymore. I'm not going to reroll for 52. That's way too expensive. And once again, I would like to make sure to pick up at least 8 consumables while at full health. 1, 2, 3. I'm dodging enough because I'm mostly just looking for consumables. 4, 5. I think those were all at full health. Can't wait for the tick. There we go. And nope. Wait for the heal. I think it up. Okay, I'm probably close to 8. So now I'm just going to focus on normal gameplay, which is mostly just moving around. I'm still going to scoop up tons of things. And yeah, we're constantly being hit because, I mean, this is kind of messy here. And I am bad at dodging. And, you know, we don't have the super sort of long range, killing things from distance enough, right? Things are getting pretty close to us before we kill them because of our fairly limited range. And the guys who are charging through us are managing to do that. But no, we're doing pretty good. Lots of money. I'm going to say no to this, mostly because of the negative speed. The engineering's still fine. This actually might be fine. We're not going to get that much from recycling it. This is going to net us 10 engineering, which isn't a big deal for us, but it doesn't hurt us. But it's unique, removes it from the pool, sure. Alien Eyes, I think, is great for us. We have 1 Alien Eyes, I think, right now, and it's done a lot of damage so far, because each one of these are constantly setting people on fire. So, and our HP is going up a little bit. It's not like we've got a god tier HP build, but it's okay. I think here, I'll just take the attack speed. And yeah, wave 20 is the last one. I could click endless, but I'm just going to go for a finish here. If you do go endless, beating wave 20 is still enough to count as a success for your character. So you don't have to go to just do the wave 20 ending. The biggest difference is, first of all, you keep going past wave 20. And secondly, when you're on endless mode, wave 20, you have to play through the entire wave, like the entire duration of it. Whereas if you just do the go wave 20, you can still just last till the end of the wave, and that counts as success. Or if you do kill the boss or bosses on Danger 5, it will end the wave prematurely for you, which is nice. But yeah, we'll take the Ashes for the damage, attack speed, increased range. We don't care about the minus armor. I'll take the Bat for a little bit more lifesteal, which I think is going to be useful. I think a tree's still great for us. I could swap this wand out for the tier 4 wand. I mean, it still does an impressive amount of damage for us. But it's definitely falling behind. Yeah, okay. Especially with the crowds, although it might do great against the bosses. It does hit. No. Hello. Yes. Do I want to lose a dodge? I think so. I'm not reliant on my dodge to survive. Normally, the candle with the negative enemies wouldn't feel good. Here, it might be okay. Like, yes, we lose damage, but losing 5% to damage, but gaining 4 elemental, we're going to gain a lot of damage out of this. It gives us more regen. Losing enemies means less money in XP, but I don't care about that anymore on this final wave. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to take the salt water. I don't really need the HP per se, so the extra percentage damage might be worthwhile for this round. Hello, eye surgery. That's my second one. So yeah, even faster burning and more elemental damage. And I think that's it, because we're not going to be able to afford any other good items here. So we're going to go to wave 20. We have to kill 2 bosses. I'm not concerned about scooping up consumables at full health. I mean, more max HP is good, but honestly, it might be better to leave the consumables for when I am actually damaged. I'm going to focus on the guy who's super low right now and just take him out of the equation. There we go. Yeah, it's a good thing I got so much armor, but I do like these tank builds. The ones, I mean, at a certain point, like, this is turned in bullet hell at the end here. I wouldn't be able to dodge all this stuff if I tried. There you go. There's my, I'll take a screenshot here. There's my Danger 5. Finally succeeding as Loud. I don't know. I don't think I took a ton of attempts on Loud beforehand to do this. But yeah, making the switch to the flamethrower. I gotta say, these flamethrowers are impressive. I haven't had the opportunity to make a heavy flamethrower build before. Stupid good. Really good. We did 54 elemental damage, 132% bonus damage at the end. I don't know, like, we can see the damage that these turrets did, but this is the whole game, right? Ooh, that was weird. My computer like tabbed out of the game for a second. Whereas this is last wave. Okay, there was just nowhere near the same. Like, the wave before this one, I think this flamethrower did something like 40,000 damage because we were killing tons of enemies. Here we're just killing single target. So yeah, actually the wand did more damage. Much more superior single target damage, because not only does it burn for quite a high tick, like the level 4 flamethrower is 139 damage for that tick. Whereas this is 146 damage. So it's more damage on that first tick. It does have fewer ticks. I didn't realize this had 8 ticks worth of damage, but I don't think that really mattered too much. And this had, this was hitting for a base 35% damage because it was scaling with, engineering. Hang on a second. I didn't realize how much the nail was contributing here, because this basically scales not at all with elemental damage. I guess I had plus 54. I don't know how it rounds it. This might have still just been doing 1 base damage from the elemental, but because of the 20% scaling with engineering, this was dealing 35 base damage with a cooldown of only 0.05, which was hitting pretty fast. I mean, the bulk of the damage was still from the burning, but wow, I didn't realize how good that nail pickup was. I'm really happy I did that. I don't think that was the make or break, but it definitely helped a lot. There you go. There's Loud. So I have yet another character kind of unlocked. Some of these might actually be like shockingly good, but like just haven't appealed to me too much, you know, throughout. I think the diver can actually do some ridiculous things. I don't know. I've tried him a couple of times, but I was like, meh. I really liked the cryptid, which you unlocked by having I think, 12 trees in play at the end of the run, which I think the easiest way to do it was with the Explorer. There's more trees spawn by itself. You get a lot of trees very quickly. So you just do a dummy start as the Explorer, where you probably go a couple of rounds or whatever, but you just go to the point where like you just leave the trees and don't kill them. You hit 12, and then that'll give you the achievement to unlock the cryptid, and then you just back out of your run or something. But the Explorer was a lot of fun to play. It's like shockingly entertaining. But yeah, the cryptid was great because it gets more tree spawn, and it gets material and XP for every living tree at the end of the wave. So you're working to keep the trees alive. It's bizarre. I love how different these guys feel. Not the golem. The bull is really fun. You can't equip weapons, but every time you take damage, you explode. So all you do is you run into enemies. You just run directly into enemies, take damage, and then explode to kill them. So you want to stack tons of armor, so you take very little damage from that, and then lots of regeneration. And it has to be HP regeneration. You literally can't lifesteal. You can't crit, you can't lifesteal. The itemization for the bull is really simple. And it's clearly not a run where you're trying to dodge. Like, you're going to have to run away from enemies from time to time when your health gets too low and let yourself regen. But, like, before you hit full health, because you don't want to waste the regen, you want to dive right back into killing enemies. Anyway, I love this game. It's super cheap. Thanks for watching. This felt like a day off. Really, that was fun. Thanks. Bye-bye.